Hi and welcome to my video showcase for my brochure. I chose to do my brochure for a different company this time. I did Aubrey Tolman Photography. Here you can see there's a front tab that opens and closes to kind of hold the whole thing together while it's not in use. This is one of Aubrey's own images that she took and edited herself. I actually brought up the levels a little bit to make it a little more vibrant so that it would match that of this image of Aubrey. This is the back of the brochure where you kind of get to meet Aubrey a little bit. And up here in the corner, it's kind of hard to see, that is the logo that I designed for her, if it will focus for you. I'm sorry it's hard to see, but this is a camera with ATP, Aubrey Tolman Photography, right in the lens of it. I developed 3 different logos and threw them on Facebook to get some feedback on which one I should focus on. And not only was this one the most popular, Aubrey herself liked it best, so I thought that was a good reason to go with that. So once you go inside, you have this beautiful pop-up. It's kind of hard to see with the harsh lighting. I'm sorry about that. But here you can see there are 4 columns on the top of event packages. They all follow the same paragraph format. It would be a line space between each, but each one only has one, so you can't tell. But there's no indentations at the beginning of new paragraphs. At the bottom, there's more information, but it's mostly lists with descriptions. So there's very little paragraphs going on because there are so many lists. I was careful to make sure that the lists on the left and the list on the right match formatting so that they all fell in place together and have a cohesive, uniform look. I chose images to go in the middle that kind of showcase a variety of Aubrey's skills. You have the black and white, you have close-ups, you have, this has got the flowers in focus with the couple blurred in the background, as well as one that is not of faces, which is very common nowadays. It's really trendy to have these pictures that tell stories. I also made sure that these images show different styles. So you know you have families, you have babies, you have weddings, you have just regular couples, so that potential clients can see that she does a wide range of photography and she doesn't have just one special type that she focuses on. I tried to choose the pictures to go with the quote on the front. It says, "Photography is the story you can't put into words." And there are so many pictures that have a story without any words, so I wanted to showcase that. The print process was rather frustrating and difficult. I actually went back to the print shop 3 times. The original size that I created this was 8.5 by 14. But when I arrived at the print shop, yes, they did have the paper, but they only had it in one weight, and that was 20 pounds. And it was so lightweight and so flimsy that you could see right through the printing to the other side, and it didn't really hold its shape. Here I actually have the copy of it. You know, it won't stay shut. You know, you open it up, and the fold out works pretty well. There's the pop-up, but it's just, you know, it's going to get crinkled and thrown away, and it doesn't really seem real professional. It doesn't really seem like she's serious. Versus this heavyweight, I had to go home and move the design over to an 11 by 17 document and align everything so that when you printed front and back, it would overlap itself instead of one part over here, you flip it over, and now it's over here. That took a couple of tries for the print shop to make sure that everything was not upside down. I think I have 2 drafts where they printed it. This is front, and then you flip it over. It's like that. So that was an interesting experience, but in the end it turned out really beautifully. The trimming was really easy. They had a trimmer right there in the print shop that I used that is bigger than the one I have at home. Because this was an 11 by 17 to start with, it was just a bit too big to fit into my 12 by 12 or my 12-inch trimmer. So I was grateful to use that. I brought it home and I was able to cut out the pop-ups, which I printed in 2 sizes so that I could pick the one that fit best. And so that was really fun. I actually have a scoring board that I use to be able to make the folds perfectly straight, both in the brochure itself and in the pop-ups, which allowed everything to have a really uniform, cohesive, straight, professional look to it. Oh, I kept margins around all of the edges. I believe it's 1/4 of an inch, might be 1/2 inch around all of the edges, and then there are also margins to keep everything away from the middle so that none of the text is overlapping and nothing looks like it's about to fall off the page. I believe that is everything that you might want to know and a whole lot more about this brochure. You are welcome to see a JPEG of it because I know my lighting is kind of difficult. It's in my blog. You have a wonderful day.